Gomez, with his head held high and eyes a-shinin' proud, turned them words into Spanish for all to hear. Belanqui's name meant the small and powerful one. Ramos give him a long look, plumb fascinated, and in a whisper, near like he was prayin', he mumbled, Barranquito. Them Mexicans knowed that name right well. It belonged to a warrior what was feared something fierce, whose doin's was whispered round campfires with a mix of scare and wonder. But now, that courage couldn't hold out no more agin the blood what was drainin' away. Barranquito folded up into the sand, and the shaman come rushin' to prop him up. His sons, their faces black as thunder with rage, yanked knives from their sheaths and charged at them prisoners. A wild thirst for getting even was blazing in their eyes. Right then Gomez throwed up his arm and hollered loud, "Stop! Let's judge 'em fust." Ramos, plumb overcome by the awful sight of it all, give a gander at them two young bucks, and turning to the women all huddled up together, whispered in a voice so faint it was like a dying breeze, "They must be Santana and Cadet." He warn't far wrong, neither. Them two was Barranquito's own sons, and for them getting even was a holy chore, a duty that had to be done right thar, in front of everybody's eyes. But Gomez, he never took his peepers off 'em and wheeled back to Ramos. "You come a-sauntering out of that house with this here white towel," he says, harsh as a rasp. "I know that for the white man this here's a holler for peace. But tell me, why do you beg for peace when he was blazing away from his hiding spot at that very tick?" His eyes was flaring up with bottled rage, and his voice rung out like the last word in a hanging trial. "Now we all know," he went on, "that the white man's tongue is forked like a rattler's. We done seen how your words jaw about peace, but your doin's fetch death. In that dead still quiet, them Apaches come creeping out from every which way, from behind rocks, up on the roof, from behind them prickly cactuses. A living ring of 'em, but nary a peep, just stares. Then along come Goyale, the one they called He Who Goes Unrestlessly. His face was daubed white, the color of mourning for the Apaches, and streaked with red stripes of blood from every Mexican he'd laid low to square up for his kin. His eyes was burning with a light that wouldn't let up nohow. They was all thar. Pasago Cabazon, Soquilla, Gomez, Cigarrito, Marcus, Cochise. They let the young Goyale hand out the reckoning. 4 big old stones was set down in the middle of that circle. Each prisoner got plunked on one. They sliced the ropes what bound 'em. Warn't no call for it. They had no place left to hightail it to, and they weren't supposed to be trussed up afore they was judged. Round 'em the Apaches stood stock still, weapons in hand, faces smeared in red and black, the hues of life and dying, and the air hung heavy with a solemn feel. Goyave squatted down in front of 'em and spoke up in Spanish. "You done trumped our land with your boots. You took lives without a lick of pity. You fetched sufferin' to our young'uns, women folk, and old-timers. For your doin's, you'll get our justice. The land calls for balance. We'll hear you out, but we ain't forgivin'."